And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisor channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you from Westlake Village, California. We got some more rain today, supposed to stop tomorrow, and probably don't care about the weather. Anyways, so smash that like button if you liked the Jerome Powell thumbnail yesterday. If you thought it was funny, I hope you guys didn't take it personally. Anyways, and smash it again if you're a nice person and you just want to be helpful, or you find the information on the channel helpful. And we're going to go ahead and cover some price targets on Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the Dow Jones. We'll take a look at the dollar and some gold and silver prices. And yes, Jerome Powell is basically the president of the United States. He runs the economy. He runs the agenda. And Sleepy Joe, guess what? He's not doing anything, apparently. And yeah, so basically the meeting yesterday, Jerome Powell, or this morning, Jerome Powell's in Sweden with the Central Bank Independence and Mandate Forum, right? A bunch of garbage, a bunch of lizard people over there in Europe. And I actually like what he said, because what Jerome did this morning was a big nothing burger. He said nothing about the economy, nothing about rates. And in fact, he told the Democrats and the libs to go suck air. Why? He said, we have no interest in enforcing some kind of a vaccine agenda or any agenda, that has to do with global warming, right? He said, we're not responsible for that. And frankly, we don't care. So good job, Mr. Powell. And so let's jump in here. And by the way, this is a really cool website behind me here called Crypto Bubbles. And it's pretty cool. You can, look at the day, see what coins are up, what coins are down. It looks like Hex down 16%, Woo, 22.5% gainer, and Apt, which I believe is, the founders of Facebook who were going to do that face coin, that never launched out of Europe, and Apt up 15%. Anyways, not touting it, not pointing it, I wouldn't touch it with a 100-foot pole, frankly. But let's jump into Bitcoin's price. And Ape also taking a 6% gain today. But I'm going to jump right into Bitcoin on the daily time frame, which, what did we say yesterday? What did we say what did we say yesterday is, and I had a couple of questions here about hidden bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. And keep in mind, this is a higher term time frame. So technically, this is a very powerful signal, should beget some continuation. And what that is, again, is bullish divergence. Hidden bullish divergence is when the price is making lower lows and the RSI is making higher lows. And we confirmed this here as a higher low yesterday by closing above this wick, okay? And that's how I defined a low, is when you take out the prior wick. So on this closure, that wouldn't have been a confirmed low. However, this closure to me confirmed this as a low, pretty close. Close enough is close enough. That's the old saying. And this one here, definitely a confirmed low, begetting some continuation to the upside. And I think I was a little bit bullish yesterday and said, hey, look, probably going to get a run up to about 19,000. I do think that is still in the cards, provided that the dollar continues to slide. And that, I'll just get into some of the lower term time frames here, and starting it off with the daily time frame. And what do we have here? So we have volatility lift off. We're not above the 20 percentile. And typically the daily volatility momentum play will get you somewhere between, I think it's 15 to 20% for a gainer. And that is from expansion to the next high. So expansion is coming off this low right here. However, the Stokes did cross up here. So I'm going to use that as the low to give us the, general bias for some upside action. So we crossed up right here, had a little cross down, and then we crossed back up. So from the low to the next high, 20% takes you up to, no, 16%, takes you up to 19,000, something like that. So I would expect some kind of a move in that region, and then we'll play the game of lower, higher, not. And if we're going to get some additional lift off here. And the thumbnail said, hey, is Jerome Powell going to spank the markets again? And I think he does like to do that. You know, he does like to, but this wasn't the time to do it. And so Jerome Powell, we do have that 0.25% rate hike. And I was talking with a buddy at the gym today, and I was saying, look, the Fed is very, very likely to do what they said they're going to do, which is a 25 basis point rate hike coming in towards the end of the month. And I do think we will run into some selling pressure at about 18,000. Definitely watch out for that. And that's right in line. Oh, we're about to touch the wick right here, this wick. Then test this one. I do think at a minimum, we're going to come up to that level. Again, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but a pretty easy way to, and you know, as long as Bitcoin does close today above 17,300, I am going to look for continuation tomorrow. And here's another note, you know, excuse me. So the first time after being away from the bullish control zone for a long time, the first time back into the bullish control zone is typically a sell. However, look, we got in there here, sold down. We touched it twice here, sold down. So this is pretty much the third time we're visiting the bullish control zone since March of 2022. And what else do we have is we have all the time frames kind of moving in concert with each other. The 2-day is still down there and probably going to head up to that green 55, which is about 18,000. And we'll remain to the upside as long as we're closing above 16.5. So, hey, if you wanted to do a short-term play, you know, I think it's a little bit late, but I'd be probably looking at the shorter-term time frames. Nope. Let's take a look because most people aren't day traders here, or macro traders wanting to kind of swing trade here. And yeah, pretty, you know, easy way to, you know, enter a position. If you missed getting in here and you wanted to enter in, you could put a stop loss below the prior daily low, which is coming in at 17,100. Any kind of a closure back below there, obviously momentum will turn to the downside as volatility is expanding, and probably going to get shot in the face there if you are short. However, so let's say you market enter there. You put your stop loss here with a take profit right here, you know, up at the top side of this trend line, something like that at about 18.3. And I think that would be, you know, a good risk to reward. You know, again, this isn't my, you know, I don't know what your risk tolerance is or what your trading style is, but you'd be looking at, you know, you would risk 2% to make 4.5%. So not the best risk to reward. I just do think that if the market starts to get going here, if the dollar really starts to get, you know, going to the downside like we've been talking about over the past few days, and that is kind of our thesis here, right? Is as the dollar goes up, risk assets go down, and vice versa. As the dollar goes down, risk assets will go up. And we did have a rather perfect breakdown here out of this channel, or whatever you want to call it, this range right here, this trading range. We got the breakdown. We broke below the critical level of 103.50, and you will see momentum is to the upside. Volatility is increased. Wow, momentum is to the upside. We'll cross down today below 104.50. So as long as we close today below here and remain below I'm going to say this level right here at the 618. As long as the dollar is below 104.50, I would say risk assets are going to have a little time to party here to the upside. And as I was saying, we had no bad economic data coming in on Monday, so probably going to get a little pop there. And then today, Jerome Powell's speech, for all I could tell, was bullish for the market. So it seems like, the market is kind of digesting what happened. Stock market is kind of fluttering around. NASDAQ here is up 0.5 point today. Same thing for the S&P and the Dow, not faring as well. It's up 0.5 point too. So everything in concert with each other, low volatility. And we did say, hey, there's probably going to be some bullish divergence coming off the lows here. And I would say how many drives? So just slightly, you can see from this low to this low, we got 1, 2 higher lows. Call it 3. Is that a confirmed low right there? Here? Yeah. I would call that a low, right? Wouldn't you? Does that look like a low to you? So from this pivot right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that should be enough to give us a drive to the top side of the range, honestly. That many drives of bullish divergence typically going to give you a little bit of a lift off. As the price is making lower lows and RSI is making higher lows. So, in fact, if you'd like to get a copy of our little sheet here, it's called the Bitcoin Advisors RSI Bullish and Bearish Divergence. Go ahead and post a comment in the link below. I will send you a copy of this so you can begin to understand what hidden bullish and bearish divergence is. Definitely want to master that if you want to become a trader at some point and understand risk management. That is the number one thing in this type of market that we're in right now. This is not the Warren Buffett season of buy and hold the long term. I think that has failed. And if you look at Berkshire Hathaway, Class A and Class B stock, not faring too well, as they're not going to fare well if the rest of the market goes down. I don't care if you're Warren Buffett. And so that being said, risk management, what is that? If you want to know what risk management is, shoot us a DM, make a comment. We'll go ahead and set you up with some ideas for that. But what risk management is your point of failure, right? Your stop loss, right? Just look at Tesla stock, right? You might have been long Tesla stock. You might have been long for some Tesla, and you wish you had a trailing stop at some point. Where is Tesla? Which Tesla put in a pretty big bounce yesterday, but Elon, what are you doing here? My Tesla's actually giving me some trouble, some door lock issues, but I still love the car. But again, trend identification. When you get a trend reversal on the weekly time frame, it's a powerful time frame. It's a higher term time frame. And how would you have known to kind of, where would you have put your risk management? I don't know what your risk tolerance is, but you got higher high, higher lows, higher high, higher low. Well, actually, here's your first, lower high, lower low. That was your trend reversal right there, right? You got a clear stop and reverse point. There's a lower high, lower high, lower low. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. What do you expect now? Lower high. Probably going to come test this region here, the breakdown region. I personally, I'd be looking for Tesla to come up to 144, possibly. Give or take a few dollars over the next few weeks. It does look like wants to put in a little bit of a bounce here, but that's looking pretty droopy as it is. And if we do close this week above 118, momentum will cross the upside from a very low level. If you can see this, I don't think stochastic momentum has ever been this low for Mr. Tesla. anyways, that's my 2 cents for today, guys. I hope you have a blessed and highly favored day. Check in tomorrow, like, subscribe, and only do so, if you find the information valuable. Thank you very much. Take care.